You have just a few weeks to get your taxes filed before this year's April 18th deadline. That means it's time for those procrastinators to get it in gear.
Whether you are planning on hiring a tax preparer or plan to do it yourself, there are a few last-minute things you'll want to think about. News 6's Louis Bolden has expert advice on everything from what to do if you get audited to money-saving tips.
This time of year, we're getting online or pulling out the tax forms. For those of us who don't choose to do it alone, we reach out for help.
I had always done it myself, and when I bought a home, I figured I was needing someone that I could trust.
Diane Canyon used the same tax preparer for several years. She felt confident things were done right until she got an audit for her 2012 return. That audit found she owed the IRS $2,700.
Ultimately, the individual, the taxpayer themselves, are responsible for the return.
Troy Cauldron from the IRS recommends asking a tax preparer for their qualifications and experience, knowing their fees up front, and going over your return line by line with your preparer.
I'm naive.
Canyon's audit was forgiven after writing the IRS, but then
I can't believe it's happening again. I don't make that much money.
Her 2013 return was also flagged for $2,100. This time she's expected to pay up, and she doesn't want others to find themselves in a similar situation.
Find somebody that's reputable. I'm still looking for the right person to do my taxes, apparently.
If you're planning to file your taxes yourself, there are still some tips experts recommend you pay attention to. Double check your returns for math errors. Make sure everything is properly signed. Check that your Social Security number is correct. Consider filing online using direct deposit if you're due a refund. Taking these precautions can help you make sure your last-minute filing isn't rejected or that important deductions, credits, and exemptions aren't missed. One last thing, most money-saving tax moves have to be made by the end of the tax year, but you can still contribute up to $5,500 or $6,500 if you're over 50 to your traditional individual retirement account and take advantage of that deduction. You can do that until the tax filing deadline. Now, some people think the earlier you file, the more likely you'll receive a refund, but that is not true. If you're due a refund, you'll get it. The IRS does say that 61% of late filers end up owing money, but that's more likely because they're procrastinating having to shell out the cash in the first place. And keep in mind, filing an extension does not mean you have more time to pay. You still have to pay your estimated taxes on time in order to avoid a penalty. I'm Louis Bolden, News 6.
And if you have an issue with your tax preparer, you are encouraged to file a complaint with the IRS. We have a link to do that, as well as many more tips on making sure you get the most out of your return on our website right now. Just head to facebook.com/news6 to find it at the top of the page.